Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. I'm really glad to see you again. Thank you for joining us today and joining us every week. Actually, your commitment and your presence here is what motivates us to have these training sessions every week. So, thank you for being here, and I hope all of you are doing great today. If you're asking me, I am because my football team won last night, and I'm really happy and I started my day perfectly. So I hope all of you are happy and feeling well today. So yeah, I just wanted to take this time to I know I did this individually with all of our interns, but I wanted to once again congratulate all of you for all your achievements here, the certifications you're receiving, and I just received all emails. Okay, I've done my zero, I've done my QuickBooks, and I'm really proud of your success here in Moracle Foundation and how you're passionate about it and do all the certifications, all the softwares very quickly. It's really impressed us, Morlai and I. We're really proud of all of you. So yeah, just wanted to take this chance to once again congratulate all of you. I can see most of our interns, I can say, are here. And yeah, I wanted to announce that there's going to be big news about Moracle Foundation with ACCA Advantage, ACCA in general. We are not sorry, we are having some changes in our partnership with ACCA. There are going to be big news out there, but not yet. We are waiting for it. So I just wanted to let you all know that some big news, some happy news are going to soon be here. So yeah, just once again, remember that these sessions are being recorded and they're going to be uploaded on our YouTube channel. And we would like to see all your faces. If you could turn on your cameras, that we can engaging session, that would be great. And this week we are continuing stage 5 of Moracle Accountancy Formula reporting. Yeah. So I hope you have a great session ahead. To you, Morlai. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Sepede, and thank you for all the good work that you and the team are doing, Moracle Foundation. Yes, and no doubt there's a lot happening, and we love to talk about good news, So uh, thank you again. We also to acknowledge, the fact that there's a lot of work that has been put in. Yes. Um, you and the team are really emotionally involved, believe in what we are doing in Moracle Foundation, to touch the lives, transform the lives of people, you understand, from all different backgrounds all over the world. Yes. It's not an easy thing to do. Yes. But we make it look simple to do, guys. Yes. And the team is growing, we've got more people joining us, within the foundation. The fact that, we're able to influence, the professional body, like ACCA. Yes, it's amazing, it's amazing. So thank you again, for what you guys are doing, behind the scenes. But also, to watch each and every one of you guys here today, I just want to acknowledge you guys because you guys week in, week out, you are here. You're taking an hour out, to just listen to what we are talking about here. Again, yeah, it's the faith and the belief that you have in us. Yes, knowing that, there's something good, in what we do here. So we want to appreciate, each and every one of you. Thank you. Well, always my advice is, when you come down here and listen to what we say, yes, please don't just come and listen. Yeah, go and put it, in place. Action. Yes, action is what my watchword is, And if you, in the process of putting things into action and then you got problem, yes, don't, suffer in silence, don't treat it as if, well, there's no help. Yes, come back, to me, to the team, and ask. Yeah, because the more you do that, the more. Yeah, and here, what we do on this is to make it, we are repeating. It's a lot of repetition here. Yes, and that's one way, of making something look easy. Yes, repetition. Yeah, it leads to, forming a new habit. And that habit, when it becomes a habit, is going to shape the way you think, the way you do things. So when we come down here every Thursday, we're talking about the Moracle Accountancy Formula. Yes, we're repeating it every week. Yes, and what we're trying to do is to actually, form a new habit. Yes, to perform, to do things, think in a certain way. Yes, it gives you some order. Uh, they even say in heaven there's order in heaven. Really, well, we've not been there, but you just imagine if there was no order there. What would have happened? Yes, but there's order. And this is what the Moracle Accountancy Formula does to each and every one of us. It gives you some order. Yes, the way you think about things. You don't have to, worry too much. This morning we were talking about concentration. Yes, the Moracle Accounting Formula help you, to really, concentrate on things, because you'll be able to identify, oh, there's an issue here, or this issue is a stage 1 issue, or it's a stage 2 issue, or 3. Yeah, so it helps you, to calm down, to relax, and then be able to think about it. Yeah. So again, I'm asking and I'm appealing to each and every one of you guys, please bear with us. So if you come down here every week, you hear me talking about the subject. Yes, there is a reason. It's by design. Yeah, we're going to repeat it every week, talking about this. Yeah, because I want you guys to paint a picture. Yes, to paint a picture. I'm going to ask Sepide, please, if you can bring up the Moracle Accountancy Formula. Yes, I want you guys to paint this picture. Really, guys. Yes, the 6 stages that we've got. 6 stages. Yes, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, those 6 stages for us here. Those of you working with me, yes, you know that, well, this is how we serve our clients. Yes, and even our client that we have, yes, they know that this is how we serve them. Yes, okay. Stage 1, yeah, we're saying there has to be a management information system. Yes, okay. That system comprised of different systems, yeah, coming together, yes, to be able to make sure that that data is captured, is recorded, is analyzed, is reconciled. Yeah. For me, it makes so much clearer for me now. Yeah. And the more I talk about this, like I say, you want to say, oh, well, hold on, Mola, you've been doing this for maybe almost over 30 years now, actually. Yes. But I'm telling you, it's not about the number of years. It's just about the awareness. Every time I'm talking about this, I'm thinking seriously about it, a lot of things are coming out for me. I'm saying, oh my goodness, it's like the penny is dropping. Now I understand, oh my goodness, like the light bulb, moment. Yeah. And that's the reason why I'm saying to you guys, yeah, just keep going over it. Yeah. Don't get tired. Don't say I've arrived. I know it all. Yes. And there's so many things that, becomes clear. Yes. Yesterday, I was talking to my colleagues, at one session where I was now talking about my experience when I started doing, what in those days we call it, the bookkeeping. Yes. Okay. At Moracle, we don't talk about bookkeeping. No, we don't use those words. No, bookkeeping, no. Yeah. Those days when I started, yes, okay, like 30 years ago or so, red book, the ledger. Yes, you write in the ledger, a red book, and then you move from that ledger, and then we into a typewriter. Yes, okay, TPEX, and you type, whatever it is, you make a mistake and then you go to TPEX. Yeah, you TPEX, the manual, the ledger, or you TPEX, whatever it is that you were typing the typewriter, and then move from the typewriter, and then, computer, came in, and then my colleague was reminding me, those days we used to call it, Lotus 123. Yes, oh my goodness, yes. That, it was a massive revolution. Yeah, everybody wanted to, to jump into it. Yeah, because now it was much easier. I was saying to my guy, even before Lotus 123, this manual way of doing things, the guy who actually inspired me, or one of them who inspired me, to get into accounting, it will have a piece of paper like this, when you add it up. Yeah, it will do like this, from up to down, and it write down a figure, very, very impressive when he was doing it. I said, my goodness, it was like magic. But we moved on. Lotus 123 came in. So you don't need to, struggle now to do additions. Yes. But then you move from there, and Lotus 123, yes, it's there's better software coming through. Excel came through. Yeah, Excel was doing a lot more, formulas, linking, extensive, formulas. Yes. All those conditions. Yes, you can do now in Excel. But think about it. Excel, yeah, it's a single entry. An account, as we know, is based on fundamental principles. One of those is the double entry principle. It says for every debit entry, there has to be a corresponding credit entry. Okay, fundamental. So if you are in stage number one, think about it. You got to understand this, guys, when you are posting. Yeah. But in those days, if you're using Excel, it's just one single entry. So, it was not good enough. Then what happened? Yeah, now we start having accounting packages. Yes, QuickBooks, Sage, for example. Yes, I've been using QuickBooks for a long, long time, and Sage for a long, long time. I'm telling you, yes, the move from Excel, yes, to, accounting package, oh my goodness, yeah, it saved my life. Yes, because, as I say, you guys were close to me. I talk a lot about it when I was challenged at one point in time. Yes, when I have to, to raise, X amount of money, yeah, to be able, to, for me to get X amount of money. Yes, I have to move from Excel, to an accounting package. Yes, I need to study that. I need to practice that. I need to go and implement it, train people. Yes, but that was, I'm telling you, yes, mind blowing. Now you can post a transaction, you can see the double entry now, in play. It's so important, guys, you follow this. So from that Excel into accounting software, QuickBooks Sage, now you can post a transaction, a sales invoice. That sales invoice, yeah, you would debit, yeah, automatically the what you call it now, the sales ledger in the balance sheet as a debtor, yeah, and then it will credit, yeah, the income statement as turnover. Yes, that's a double entry there. Yeah. But in the Excel, yeah, a single entry, just record one line, that the double entry is not there. So to move from Excel, to accounting software, my goodness, it was another bit of, everybody wanted to do it. So I went in there, yes, I learned that. But think about it, the problem there was, yeah, when you have an invoice, a sales invoice, then you need to put in the information, you need to type in. When you got a purchase invoice, you got to type in. Yeah, so you type in word for word, what is in the invoice. Look at the duplication. Yeah, you receive a purchase invoice. Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're now going to the purchase invoice, and then you are now typing the information, yeah, in the accounting system. Okay. It fulfills the double entry principle, but still there's a manual, still a lot of manual labor, yeah, to be able to post one invoice. So now people now who are doing that kind of job, you say purchase ledger clerk or sales ledger clerk, those kind of positions are there. Yeah. And all they do is that, just recording, stuff there. Okay. And then we move on now. Artificial intelligence age. Now you get a sales invoice, a purchase invoice. Yeah, you just feed it into the accounting system, and then the computer intelligence, yes, now extract that information for you, in the way you want it, and then post it for you in the account system. Think about it, guys. Yes. In my, when you look at my, what you call it, that trend for me, where we have come from that manual cash book. I used to hate it, to write and then make a mistake. My handwriting was, not too good at all. Yes. They always say I write like a doctor, a medical person. They always write, well, like, that's how I was when I was writing those days. But that is where we come from that manual to today, yes, whereby, the computer intelligence, artificial intelligence is at play. Yes. Well, I'm saying here, think about it. Management information systems, yeah, is saying, yeah, we need to be able to make sure that we put the right system in place. Yes. You cannot go somewhere now, and it's into your cash book. Just imagine. You tell me about cash book, you take me back, 30 years. I go to you as a kind of accounting system, and you're talking to me about Excel. So you see, you're taking me back, to those years when Excel or Lotus 123, that's where you're taking me to. When you have that as your management information system, or where you're recording things. If you take me back to where you got a manual, QuickBooks or desktop, they call it. Yeah, you got desktop because you got some businesses, they still have QuickBooks or Sage, but they are desktop. So that means they're not connected. It means that somebody needs to do the manual posting. So you're taking me back years. Yes. So we need to watch out for these guys. It's what, I'm talking to you guys about here. Wherever you are, if you have to type in invoices, yeah, you have to type in, the bank statements, for example. Yes, you're not able to connect the banks, to the accounting system. You're not able to connect the supplier invoices, to the accounting system. You are not able to connect the payroll, yeah, into the accounting system. You're not able to connect the sales ledger or the CRM system into the accounting system. Yes, then you are going back, guys. Yes, you're going back in time. Yeah, and I'm saying to you, yes, that's not what we're preaching here in the Moracle Accountancy Formula. We're saying, yes, now we want integration. Integration. All this information, all these different systems are there, they need to be talking to each other. Yes, and when you perfect that, I'm telling you, that management information system is going to be fit. Yes, and it's going to allow so many things to happen, for information to be captured at the right time, accurate at the speed at which it should be, so that number two, the management accounts, yes, and added value stage will take place. Yes, guys? Because if number one, yeah, it's not done properly, number two, you're going to have problems. Yes? Because the figures that are coming from stage one into number two, yes, if they have so much problems there, then number two, it's not going to give the true position. Yes, okay, it's management account. That means for internal, but still, that information is needed, for people who are charged with the responsibility to making strategic decisions. Yes, they need that information. They need good quality information, accurate information. Yeah, if number one is producing, so much questionable figures, yeah, banks are not reconciled properly. Yeah, those control account PAY is not reconciled. Yes, all those control accounts are not reconciled. Then management account, yeah, it's not going to be a good one. Yeah, it's not going to add value. Yeah, so remember that. Yes, okay. Number three, the statutory accounts that we actually present at the end of the year. It comes from stage number one, from the management information system, the trial balance that you produce from there. Yes, the day-to-day posting, yes, weekly posting and reconciliation, monthly reconciliation, all are going to feed into stage number three when you prepare your statutory accounts. If number one is still not good, yes, I'm saying, if you don't put all of this management information system that is fit for purpose, if it's not working, then number three, those accounts, the statutory accounts, are not going to be fit for purpose. Yeah, I want you to understand this. And I want you to paint that picture, guys. Yes, if number one, yes, it's not fit for purpose, number two, it's going to be questionable. Number three is going to be questionable. Number four, every business out there for tax reasons want to save money. Yeah, a business comes to the accountant. Yes, a business owner comes to an accountant. One of the first things they're talking about, is about tax. I don't want to pay, more tax that is supposed to pay. How can you save me tax? We know that because that's how it is. Yes, business is by nature, they are there to make profit. And every profit that you make, yeah, in the UK, for example, you're going to pay tax in there. Yes. So when the owner or business, shareholders or whatever it is they're talking to you, they want to take as much money out of the business. Yes. And before they take money out of the business, they have to pay tax. So think about it. Yes. So when you are posting, you are doing the management information system, you're capturing data, recording the data, analyzing the data, reconciling the data. You have to have that in your mind. Yes, you're not just posting for the sake of posting it. You're saying, well, hold on, I want to make sure that I categorize the income and the expenditure correctly, so that when it comes to the tax, yes, then we are able to save tax. We cannot not do otherwise. We have to focus on that. Yes. So if number one is not good, then number four, yeah, it's going to be a problem. Yeah, you're going to end up paying more tax than necessary. Yes. I'm not saying that we should not pay tax, but let's get our client to pay the fair tax. Yeah. The tax system is based on fairness. Yes. Well, we, as the accountant, as the trusted advisors, need to understand that. But if number one, yeah, it's not done properly, where the evidence is not, strong, collected, available, analyzed, reconciled, you end up paying, more tax than is necessary in number four, guys. Yes, bear that in mind. Yeah. Number five, okay. This is the subject that we of the month. Yeah, reporting. And when we're talking about reporting here, we're talking about, for us, we got three types of reports. The statutory audit, there's a separate report. Independent examination, there's a separate report for that. And then the accountant's report, there's a separate reporting for that. So you say, well, hold on. Well, what does it got to do with, number one? Well, it's got everything to do with number one. Yes, because when the auditor comes in at stage number five, yes, what is he doing simply? Yeah, he's standing in stage number five and he's looking back. And he's looking back at stage number one and he's looking at stage number three. Why is he looking at those two stages? Because there are two fundamental audit tests that the auditor needs to do. Yes, one is called the compliance testing, and the second one, yeah, is going to be, substantive testing. Yeah, so those two tests, yeah, if you look at it, yes, compliance testing is looking at stage number 1. The substantive testing is looking at stage number 3. So you can see how number 1 is so important. And really, as we know it, yes, you have to do number 1 first. Yes, the compliance testing. They call it walkthrough test or system testing. Then what you're doing with it, what does that mean? You say, oh, I'm looking at, number 1, I was not there when things were happening every day, every week, every month. Yes, I came way after the transactions have been recorded, the transactions have been analyzed, the transactions have been reconciled. So I am coming way after all of this, after the event. I'm talking about the auditor here now. Well, what is he trying to do? Is now trying to test the system that is in place to see if that system is actually what it is as prescribed. What do I mean by that? Well, prescribed mean, yes, for every information system or management information system, they have to have protocols or procedures, you understand, that people who are actually doing that work need to follow. How do we record sales invoice? There's a procedure for that. You need to record that. So everybody who's working the finance function need to understand that and need to follow that. Yes. How do we record purchase invoice? Yes. That need to be, it's a procedure for that. Everybody who is in the finance function need to understand that, and everybody need to follow it. Well, it's not like, oh, well, the sales invoice Mola does it that way, Sylvia does it that way, Sharon does it that way, and we're all working for the same finance function. No way. Yes? Okay. So when you say prescribed, yeah, that is what he's saying. There is a procedure, yeah, that exists. And that procedure need to be contained, yeah, in a document. And that document is known as Financial Procedure Manual. Okay. Yes. That is what the auditor is trying to do there in that test of compliance or walkthrough. Is now saying, I'm going to test this system to see, yes, that these guys were actually following what they have in the financial procedure manual. Okay, that is an interesting test. Yeah, and for you guys who are going to be involved in the audit, you got to have a mind, yes, and a mindset, to do things in the way where you are going to test things when you were not there. Yes, and you're going to test it, you understand, and say, hold on, yeah, is it? I was not here, but when these guys were doing it, yeah, were they actually doing things, in line with the financial procedure manual? Because this is what actually, guides them, what to do in the finance function. When they are capturing that data, when they are recording that data, when they are analyzing the data, when they are reconciling that data. Yes, that's what the auditor is doing. Yes, and if he's now happy with that, the result of that walkthrough test or compliance test, if he's happy with that, then he now need to consider, yes, the amount of testing, which is the substantive testing that he's doing in stage number 3. So can you see how important stage 1 is to stage number 5? Very important. Yeah, so that's why we overemphasize, stage number 1. Yes, you cannot just do it for the sake of just doing it. Yes, I hear a lot of the time, in the when the software providers, even when they're advertising QuickBooks or Sage or the accounting software, they say anybody, can do it. Yes, anybody, the way things are now, you don't need to. Anybody can do it. You don't need to have any training to do it. Seriously? Yes. To capture data, record that data, analyze that data, and reconcile that data. Are you telling me anybody can do it? No. And guys, I want to tell you guys that, don't believe in that. Yes, you are a very important, employee, a very important person, even when you're involved in doing that, guys. Yes, and that's why we don't call things here bookkeeping, because when we call it bookkeeping, that now we are going to look down on, oh, well, it's not an important task. Anybody can do it. Yeah, and that is that's why we don't use bookkeeping here, because it's the way people see bookkeeper. I'm not saying bookkeepers they're not important people. You understand? Or it's important, but it's the way even the public perceive it. A bookkeeper is of a low value or low whatever it is. No, don't accept that. Yes, tell them that. No, sorry. Yes, I refuse to accept that. I am a very important person here in this process. If you know, it's the first thing that you're involved with. Yeah, because for me to be able to capture data, to record data, to analyze the data, and reconcile the data, which is what I'm doing here. Yes, I need to really be emotionally involved. I need to know this organization inside out. I have to have a much more detailed background, yes, of this organization. I need to, because if I don't, I am not going to be able to capture that data, record, analyze, and reconcile that data, yeah, in the right way. Yes, that adds value to that management information system. So don't accept it. Don't allow anybody, to look down on you to say because you are doing stage one, so you don't know what you're doing. Yes, or you are a junior person. I understand that. It starts from there, I'm saying, but that does not make you less important. But just look at it. I want to make you understand this today. So if you are really doing this and then your organization is being audited, yes, even if it's not being audited, but just think about it. Yeah, your self-value. Just think about it. If your organization was audited, when the auditor comes here in stage number 5, yes, you were the first people. Yeah, the first set of people they would like to talk to, when they're doing their testing. Yes. And if you didn't perform, then that means they're going to do more testing, on the statutory accounts. Yeah, in stage number 3. They're going to do more testing. Yes, because they don't rely on the information that is coming from stage number 1. Yes? Okay. How can you not think of yourself as being an important person, yeah, when you are involved in doing this? So that's why I'm asking you guys, when you are doing this, guys, wherever you find yourself, yeah, when you are data capturing, when you are recording that data, when you are analyzing the data, when you reconcile the data, yes, you got to be emotionally involved, guys. Don't do it, half-heartedly. Don't do it, anyhow. Yes. Take full responsibility. You understand? Be accountable. Yes. Stand there and say, hold on, I can sign my name, yeah, to this formula. Put it down. I have done it. If you make a mistake, all up your hand and say, I'm sorry, I make a mistake, I can correct it. Yes. But do not do it anyhow. Yeah, because the auditor standing in stage number 5 is going to rely on that information. It's going to test it, start and work through it, make sure that, what you have been doing is in line with the financial procedure manual. So what that tells you, yeah, you actually doing the posting, yes, recording, analyzing, reconciling, yeah, you need to know what the financial procedure manual says. So when you come to Moracle, one of the things that we're asking our guys to do, when you start doing your posting, yeah, I want you guys to write, a financial procedure manual. Interesting, isn't it? This is, well, hold on. What, I don't know what to do, and then I've been asked to do a financial procedure manual. Okay, well, we're going to throw you to the deep end. And you can see the reason why I'm asking you, for you, yeah, to get, to do a financial procedure manual. Yes, that's the reason why I'm asking you. Because if you don't know, that, when you are posting, when you're capturing data, recording data, analyzing data, and reconciling the data, you have to do it in a certain way and that certain way has to be in line with the financial procedure manual, then there is, this what you call it, disengagement here. Yeah, that's why I'm asking you, to go and do the financial procedure manual. So if a client is allocated to you guys, even for you interns or you're working guys, as a consultant or as a staff, for every client that you're working on, please ask to see the financial procedure manual. Yeah, if you are involved in doing the posting, ask to see the financial procedure manual. Yeah, if the financial procedure manual does not exist, take it upon yourself, to do one. Yes, it will give you a massive exposure. Yes, but this is what is required of you. Yes, for you to be posting, recording, analyzing, reconciling. Yeah, you got to make sure that you are doing that according to the financial procedure manual. And when the auditor starts in stage number 5, that is what is going to be checking. Yeah, it's not good enough to say, oh, I've done the reconciliation and then I've not followed any procedure. I've just done it. I've done the posting of the sales ledger. I've reconciled it, but you're not following any procedure. Yes, I'm just doing it because I know how to do it. I just follow it. I just do it. Yeah, that is not the responsible way to do it. Yeah, that's why the manual is there. And when the auditor comes in, it's focusing on the manual. Where is the procedure manual that you have in place? Yeah, because he wants to carry out his compliance test, or his walkthrough test, or the system test. He wants to do that. For payroll, what is the procedure for payroll? Yes, he wants to ask you and tell me if this is the procedure. Yes, can you tell me how you have been doing it? Yes, he's asking you. Yes, and when you say this is how I do it, yes, and he checks it to say, okay, you're doing it in line with the procedure manual, and he said, okay, that's fine. Now, yes, I'm not going to trust you. I'm still going to apply professional skepticism. I doubt you, but I am going to test it myself, even after you've told him that this is what I do. Yes, so the auditor is not going to believe you and say, okay, well, this is what you say you do it. That's fine. I'm okay with it. No, he's going to say, okay, thank you very much. It looks okay, for what you explained to me. But now I'm going to test it. And what it does is, it does a walkthrough test. Yes? And that walkthrough test is now trying to prove to himself whatever you said to him, yes, is true. Yeah? And he accepts it. Okay? So it's so important that you guys know you are an integral part, yes, as an individual involved in the data capture, recording, analyzing, and reconciling in stage number 1. So you can see how stage number 1 is so important, guys. Yes, so crucial. Yeah. Okay. When he's done that, and then he now thinks that stage number 3, the statutory account. Well, think about it. The statutory account, is come from stage number 1. Yes, it's the information that is captured daily, weekly, monthly, and even yearly. So all this adjustment that's happened, is what is fed into stage number 3 to produce the statutory account. And when the auditor is standing in stage number 5, is looking at this account that is in his hands, is now saying, well, I've done the testing of the management information system. I'm happy with it. Now I'm going to look at just the numbers now. Yes, because think about it. Stage number 1 is procedures and systems that is testing. Yeah, and number 3 is now testing the balances and the numbers. Yes, that's what stage number 3. When it says substantive testing, is now testing, balances, and then those transactions. Yeah, so now it's looking at the numbers, and say, oh, I want to check, debtors. Oh, I want to check the income. If the income is complete, I want to make sure, that physical asset, if that physical asset exists. This kind of test is what you call substantive testing. Yes? Okay. But first of all, it's got to test the system, that has produced those numbers. That fixed asset that is in the account, yeah, it must come from stage number one. And how did it get there? Yeah, it must come from a budget. The business was budgeting that we need to buy some fixed assets. Yes, and there is money allocated for those fixed assets. Yes, and now that when that money is spent, yeah, somebody records it. But before it's spent, it has to go through a procedure whereby, some organization, they want 3 invoices, pro forma invoices. Yeah, so they can check for quality, they check for value before they decide which supplier is going to, now they're going to buy from. Yes, and they decide to buy it, and they go through another procedure, yes, for it to be authorized before the purchase is made. When the purchase is made, yeah, sometimes you go into stock, and then when it gets into store, or the stock, they need to requisite for it so that it could be used. Yes, and that goes into the fixed asset register. All of that is happening in stage number one, and then that's being recorded in the accounts down here in stage number one. Yes, so when the auditor is looking at it, and stage number 3, the fixed asset, yeah, is now saying, I trust what is happening in stage number 1. The procedures, yes, that's been followed in stage number 1, I am happy with it. Yes, so now it's looking at the numbers now. Okay, those fixed assets that you just say you bought, yes, I've seen that the procedures are fine. Yes, now I really still don't believe, yes, until I see physically, yes, those assets. If you say you bought a car, are you with me? I've seen the invoice. I've seen the procedure that you followed before you bought the car. I've looked at the budget. I've seen that it was budgeted for. I see that, yes, you got best value. I see you have recorded it, in your store, somebody requisited, so this is being used now, and everything in the procedures is stage number 1. Now, I'm looking at the account. It says fixed asset, and it says motor vehicle, for example. Yeah, in the account. The auditor is still not happy. He's still not satisfied. Now, he wants to look at it. He wants to see that vehicle that you're saying, I want to see it myself. And this is what we call physical verification, for example. Yes. We got a client audit work that we did just recently. Yes. And it's a project audit, and the client is based in Gambia. Yes. Okay. And I went down there in Gambia, I got a list of the asset that I want to physically verify. Yeah. And I was explaining to them, why I need to take a picture, of the vehicle, and not only take the picture of the vehicle, but take the picture of the vehicle, me touching the vehicle, me sitting in there, me making sure that that vehicle works, so, I get the vehicle to be started, I got to even ride in the vehicle, to make sure the vehicle, is in good order. So I need to explain to them why I'm doing this, under the hot burning sun. Make sure that, and you can flip all of that stuff. All I'm trying to do there is that vehicle physically exists. Yes, and it's in the books. So just think about it. Yes, I've looked at the procedure for purchasing that vehicle. It's okay. Yes, but now in the accounts, I'm looking at this account, the statutory account, and I say, well, hold on, I can see a vehicle there. Yes, I want to make sure that that vehicle physically exists. There's a building. It says in the account, there's building. Yes. Well, hold on. That building, I want to now go and check that that building actually, exists. Yes. So where's my evidence? Well, I have to go and touch that building. Where's the building? Touch it physically, it exists. I'll go inside, and make sure it is okay. But also, I want to make sure, that building, yeah, if we got your the company's name, yes, as the owner. So I need to now make sure I check, the register, office, yes, the registrar office for that. Yeah, and there's all this kind of substantive testing that we do, to verify, those account balances and transactions. So you can see the two different types of tests. And for me, I want you guys to, particularly those guys who are studying for audit, yeah, try and understand the two different types of tests, yeah, the substantive testing and the compliance testing. Yeah, sometimes, with some of those tests, particularly when we'll start doing those in work, yes, and you involve, you will see where you got, sometimes it's a tricky one, you understand? But it should be clear cut in most times. Compliance test is the same as the system testing or the walkthrough testing. It's different language they use, but it's for the same thing. That is different from, substantive testing or verification. You got to be able to distinguish those two, guys. So you, the auditor, standing in stage number 5, yeah, you need to be able to distinguish these two, yeah, and where you should be looking for those individual testing. Compliance testing, you're looking at stage number 1, yes. Substantive testing, you're looking at stage number 3. Paint that picture, yes, and the more you are able to paint that picture, the more it becomes easier. Yes. Stage number 1 is all about procedures. What procedures existed, yeah, in place, yes, as in the financial procedure manual. It's not like the procedure exists in somebody's head. No, it should be in the financial procedure manual. So when I hear sometimes people say, oh, well, Mola said, yes, oh, Sharon said, oh, James said, Kevin said, Shukesh said. Okay. Is that what we should be saying, guys? No, we should be saying what the financial procedure manual says. Yeah, guys? What the financial procedure manual says. What does it say? How to record, to capture data, record that transaction, analyze it, and reconcile it. What does the financial procedure manual say? Yeah, not Mola said, or James said, or Kevin said. Yeah, because, it should not be like that. Yeah, it should be the financial procedure manual that everybody is following. And that's where the financial procedure manual should be up to date at all times. Yeah, things are changing all the time. It should not be static. Don't treat that like the manual that you got in your car. How often does that manual change? You bought a car, you got a manual there, how often does it change? Yeah, don't treat it like that. It doesn't change. Yeah, okay. But here, our financial procedure manual changes because, situations, circumstances, and these things change. Yes, the business is growing, so that means, the authorization process, yeah, is going to change. The limits that we have is going to change. The people who are actually, mandated to sign, yeah, they changes from time to time. So that means the financial procedure manual cannot be static. It has to be updated. It has to be amended. It has to be, all the time. So I want you to guys, to think about it, guys. Yeah, from an auditor's point of view. Yeah, one of the things that you're looking for when you start the audit is that financial procedure manual. Yeah, and you're looking the last time it was updated. Yeah. So if you are planning to be in an audit, yes, and when it comes to the testing items, the first thing that you want to check is the financial procedure manual. Have we got one? Yeah, because that it feeds into your permanent file information. Yeah, that's where it should find it. And then also when it comes to the planning, yes, because you need background information, yeah, which most of the background information you get from the financial procedure manual, then that helps you to plan. And when you plan, yes, that's how you're going to go and execute. And when you execute, then this is the test. These two different tests is what you're going to carry out. Okay, let me explain it again. Yeah, paint this picture again. Yes, for your audit to take place, You got to have a permanent file. Yeah, it gives you a background, detailed background information about the client. Yes, and that is recorded in the permanent file. Yes, permanent because most of the information does not change that much. That's why it says permanent file. Current file or current audit file, it means that year after year, things are changing. So in audit, you got permanent file, permanent audit file, and you get current audit file. Okay, permanent means that most of the time things are not changing there. Yes, current every year. Yes, that current file is changing because it's current. It has to be current. Okay, but you first of all start with the permanent file. The permanent file is now capturing data, background information, I call it, about the organization, detail, yes, background information about the organization. One of those, yes, document that you will see in the permanent file, is the financial procedure manual. Yeah, the financial procedure manual is key. That's why I'm saying, guys, stage number one, financial procedure manual is so crucial. If you have not done one or you have not seen one and you are involved in posting, capturing data, recording, analyzing, and reconciling, and you've not seen that, sorry guys, yes, you are not actually following the Moracle Accountancy Formula. We are advocating seriously that you should have a copy of that. You should be able to see it. Yeah, okay. So permanent file, yes. Once you get your permanent file, then that allows you or help you to be able to plan for the audit, because now you identify where the risks are. Yes, and when you plan, that plan needs to be executed. So the execution basically is auditor is going to carry out those tests, and the test that we're talking about here is the compliance testing stage number 1. Yes, and then the substantive testing stage number 3. Okay, so for the audit guys, please paint that picture. What are we going to do? Sometimes we talk about this audit as if, well, it's like we're flying to the moon. Yes, understand that. Really, if you want to really package it that way, that's what it is. So we are flying to the moon when we are auditing. Yeah, by actually, capturing the permanent file. Yes, and then help you to plan that audit, and then you go and then execute that plan. Yes, okay, and that execution, compliance testing, substantive testing, yes, when you are executing, and things are, okay, remember this, you're dealing with people. Yes, stage 1 in compliance testing is people. People are involved. Stage number 3 is people. Yes, it's numbers. Yeah, people who put those numbers together, and you want people to be able to give you information. Yes, so you cannot, yes, but just ignore people. When you're executing, people are involved. So what do you need to? Yes, you say, well, okay, as an auditor, I have to have this professional skepticism with me. That is what is a fundamental for auditors. I go to doubt and doubt and doubt, inquiry mind, all the time. Yes, but also people are involved. So we are asked, to apply emotional intelligence. Okay, very important. You are doubting people, but you need to be able to understand, your emotion and the people's emotions when you are doubting. Yes, it's not an easy thing to do. That's why auditors, I call them special breed in the way you're thinking. Yes, and the way you go about doing stuff. Yes, emotional intelligence is huge. Yeah, to be able to understand your emotion and then understand the emotion of other people. Yes, when sometimes I'm telling you, I can see how, I say sometimes the grace of God, for you to calm down. Yeah, be patient, you understand, and understand where people are coming from. Yes, okay, but at the same time, You are doubting them. Yeah. I'm talking to Kevin. Kevin is talking to me. He's telling me some stuff. I doubt what he's saying to me. Yeah. I don't believe in what he's saying to me. Yes. Because, he might have an agenda. He might have an agenda. Yes. I was not there when Kevin was doing all those stuff that Kevin was doing. When Kevin was recording this data, when he was capturing, analyzing, and reconciling, I was not there. Now Kevin is telling me, yes, that this is what he did. Yes. Am I supposed to believe what he's saying to me? Or just take it and say, okay, Kevin, you told me, then okay, I'm fine. No, I was not there. Yes, I'm coming sometimes 12 or 13 or 14 months after the first transaction was recorded. Yes, 12 months, 13, 14, 15 months, sometimes 16, 17, 18 months after the first transaction was recorded. And Kevin is telling me, this is how I did it here. And I'm saying, okay, that's fine. I believe you. Well, that's not what auditors do. We don't believe people. Yes, what they say to us. Not individual. You're not going to against this person's personality. No, you're just saying, in carrying out my work, I need to apply professional skepticism. And that's what we're doing here. So it's so important, guys. Yes, break it down, make it look simple. Yes, standing in stage number 5, guys. Standing there, you're looking back at stage number 1 and looking at stage number 3. Yes, this is what the auditor actually is about. Yeah. Okay. The tests that we need to carry out, we will do some tests, but it will be difficult to explain those tests here. Yeah, until you see them, actually happen, in actual life, when you're doing it. Yeah. So again, if you have some time and you want to see how some of these tests are carried out, for example, walkthrough tests, compliance test or substantive testing, yes, let us know. Yeah, we can arrange for you to get involved so you can see some of this, in actual practice. You understand? And but I will encourage you guys to go and read. Yes, particularly those of you who are taking audit exams. Yes, and try and see how you can simplify what I'm saying here. Yes, from the Moracle Accountancy Formula. Yes, standing stage number 5. Look back, stage 1. And look back at stage number 3 when you're talking about those testing, yeah, and see how you can break it down, yes, and go to those questions and see what the examiner is trying to say, and you can see how easy it's going to be. I'm telling you, yes. Oh, because certain words, as they begin to use, you can see. Well, it's talking about stage number 3, yeah. Certain questions, as you see, it's talking about stage number 1, yeah. Try and do that and make it look simple. But I'm happy again, if you guys, have some questions, I'm happy to have question and answer session, particularly those who are taking exams. I like, to take exams with you. You understand? Some of the guys who used to take audit exams, I will set a mock exam for them, and mark the exams and discuss it. You understand? Just to help them. So remember, that support exists. Yeah. Or if you want additional discussion, I'm happy to do that. But auditing should not be, too difficult, guys. Yes. I just want to leave you guys again, stage number 1, how important stage number 1 is. And that's the reason why we did this in stage number 1 like this. Yes. So even if you're not being audited, you should be proud, to put a management information system in place that exists because it has so much value. Yes, when it comes to feeding into stage number 2. If you're not audited, or even if you're audited, stage 1, yeah, feeds into stage number 2. Every day, every week, every month, those 2 stages. If we focus on those 2 stages, yeah, any business out there, yeah, is going to grow. Is going to be successful. Even if there are challenges, they are going to be able to withstand those challenges by focusing on stage 1 and stage 2, if we're on top of it. Yeah. So I want to leave you, yeah, with this. Yeah, the reporting stage, yes, they call it reporting stage for a reason. Yeah, you got to be able to identify what type of reporting, yes, you're going to be doing for a particular client. So again, I'm saying when you are doing stage number 3, yes, guys, I want you to stop and look at the report that you got in stage number 3 for that particular client. Yeah, what the difference is between the statutory audit report, yes, the independent examiner report, and then the accountant's report. These are 3 different types of report. Yes, so I want you guys, to really, really, look at it. In fact, let me ask Sepede and the team, guys. Yeah, please, Sepede, can you, when you're sending out, this video or whatever it is, can you send out, those 3 reports? Yeah. If you don't have that, come, talk to me. Let me give you so you can share it with everybody. So those 3 reports: the statutory audit report, yes, the independent examiner report, and then the accountant's report. Yeah. So there are 3 different type of report, so that you begin to get familiar, with this report, and see, the differences. When you begin to see the differences there, it makes a lot of difference to you guys. Yeah. I know for some of you who are doing stage 1 now, who just started, it might not make too much sense, but we still want you to begin to look at it. You understand? To look at it. For those of you who are now working and doing accounts with me, yeah, that has to be a must. Yes. For the auditors, well, sorry, that has to be super must. Yeah. So it's so important, yeah, that you understand, the difference, yeah, between those 3 reports. Yeah. Statutory audit report, yeah, that is the auditor's report. Yes, and the independent examiner report, it is the independent examiner who actually, write the report. Yeah, it's in I, the examiner, the independent examiner. And then the accountant's report, yeah, this is where it's not an audit, it's not an independent examination, an accountant's report. Yeah, and you got to have the right report. Because if you don't have the right report, then when you file those accounts in stage number 6, Companies House might reject it. Yes, yes, they're looking for it. Yeah, so you got to know the difference. After you've done all this good work in stage number 3, yeah, the statutory account, if you got the wrong report, number 5, yeah, Companies House number 6 is going to reject it. Yeah, so that is the thought process. So as you're doing stage number 3, yeah, you need to know what kind of reporting you're going to be doing. Yeah, knowing that when you file those accounts in stage number 6, Companies House, HMRC, or Charity Commission will accept it and not reject it. Yeah. So if you master this, accountancy formula, really, guys, you find out that you find yourself in a very strong position, and we do quite a lot of support. I'll give you an example. We got some interns who are with us who are working, but they are doing certain aspects, of the finance function. Yeah. So we are challenging them now to say, no, sorry, you could be able to do number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 6. Number 5, you might not be able to do it because you need to be, if it's an audit, you got to be an auditor. Like myself, as an auditor, I need to have an audit certificate. Not anybody can just sign off an audit. Yeah. Okay. Independent examination. Yes, you need to be suitably qualified to sign as an independent examiner. Accountant report. Yes, you need to be suitably qualified as well, particularly if it's under the Companies Act. Yeah, you cannot just sign an account like this. Yeah. So you might not be able to do number 5. But number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 6, if you are in the finance function, you need to be able to do all of that. That's what makes you valuable. Yes. And I'm telling you, if you want any, what you call it now, motivation, come and talk to me. Yeah. If you doubt that you cannot do it, come and talk to me. This formula will help you to do it. If you're in the finance function, you should be able to do number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 6. Yeah? Okay. I want to leave that with you. but also for all the guys who are doing number one, I salute you guys. Yes, I take my hat off to you. Yes, knowing that you're going to apply what we talk about here. Yes, the background information. Yeah, knowing what the client stands for, their mission, their vision, knowing the organization chart. Yeah, who is who within the organization, knowing the activities of that business. Yeah, where the income is coming from, where the expenses broken down into cost of sales or direct costs and overheads. You understand? You got to. Yes. Number 4, your chart of account, making sure the chart of account is fit for purpose, is adapted to make sure that it's in line with the activities. Number 5, yes, you talk about the budget. When you got a chart of account, you got to have the budget in there. Make sure the organization that you're working for or with has a budget. That budget needs to be in the accounting system. And number 6, make sure the financial procedure manual exists. Yes? Okay. Those 6 things as primary, you got to be able to make sure it's there, guys. Yeah? And if you do that, wherever you are, I salute you. Yes? But if you're not doing that, I'm saying to you, think about it. Yes? What is stopping you not to do it? If you have never done it, I'm asking you, yes, to think twice about it. Give it a go. If you have never put a budget together, now's the time for you to go and do it. If you have never put a financial procedure manual together, now's the time for you to go and do it. Yes? If you have never reviewed a chart of account, now is the time for you to go and do it. Yes? Because there's so much experience that you can get from it. Yeah? Please, guys, it's so important, yeah, that you are able to do this. Yes? But it is so, so important, guys. Yeah? And when you do this, and then this is where, I would say, well done. Yes? A good and faithful servant, so they say. Yes? Now you can rest. But guess what? I'm not asking you to rest because in the accounting wheel, there's nothing like resting. Yeah? You get to the top, you're always looking to get to the top. Even when you get to the top, you're still looking to move further. Yes? You don't rest. Yeah? Because things are changing all the time. Thank you very much for being with us here today and for listening to us. And I thank you. Maybe I will take 1 or 2 questions before we go for today. Thank you, Sepede. Sepede, can you stop sharing now? Any questions?
Hello, Molai.
Hello. Hi, Kevin.
Thank you. What a great presentation there and great insights on this reporting stage. So first, let me appreciate the presentation as you are going through and talking about the finance procedure manual. I was taking it so much religiously because actually that's the current assignment I'm having, and I was comparing it with the preacher who'd want to go and preach without a Bible. So it's a roadmap of what you're going to do. Now, to my question, I'm looking at all the activities that you as an external auditor or me as an external auditor has to do at the end of a financial period. And I'm looking at the extent of, I like the fact that you say an auditor, you shouldn't be believing on people. You need to doubt every case. So I want to hear your comments on this aspect about interim auditing, the quarterly interim, it could be quarterly, semi-annually, or, that. Would it be something that you would recommend that would also ease the burden or the task, the heaviness of the task at the end of it? I would also want to hear your experience on that. So again, connecting with that, in situations where you have companies that have internal auditors. Now, that having the aspect of internal auditors and connection with interim auditing also, because I know the work of the internal auditors is to ensure that, they look at the internal control system every now and then. But I would want to have that connection of interim auditing and the internal auditors quarterly, semi-annually. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Very good question. But yes, I want to reiterate that it's a fundamental principle in auditing. Yes, to apply professional skepticism at all times. Yes, that is fundamental. As an auditor, you swear to that. Wherever you go, whatever you see in front of you, you doubt it. You doubt it. You doubt it. You question it. So the auditor have to have an inquiry mind at all times. Yes. Okay. But come to interim audit. Interim audit, I will always recommend that where it is possible. Yes. There are so many different reasons why interim audit, I would recommend. Yes. Because as we know, you got, organizations that are growing, it's a lot of things moving, sometimes between organizations. Yes. And the auditor, when he goes in, think about it. The other day we did a timeline. Yeah. Let's say the accounting year end is December. So you got January to December as your financial year end. Yeah, January, let's put some dates here. January 2023 to December 2023. That is the financial year end. Yes. And then the auditor is coming, let's say, 6 months after the end of the year. Let's say in June 2024 is when the auditor is coming in. Let's say May. Yeah, is when the auditor is coming 5 months after the end of the financial year. So the financial year end is starting from January 2023 to December 2023. And the auditor is coming in May 2024. Think about it. How many months is that from the time the first transaction happened? From January, when the first transaction happened, the 1st of January 2023, the auditor is coming May 2024. You can see, yes, it's a long, long, long time. A lot of things will happen. Yes, and all of a sudden, the auditors got maybe 6 weeks, or 10 weeks, to do the auditing, professional skepticism, and do all the testing that we're talking about, compliance testing, substantive testing, and then do, all sorts of different third-party, confirmations, and all this kind of stuff the auditor need to do within that short period of time. Yeah. Well, interim is saying, instead of you coming in May and then do this audit, for the first time, you can actually, break it down. You can say, you know what, I will come in maybe in the 9th month, maybe in September. Yes, I want to come in and do some interim audit work. Yes, I don't want to wait until, the end of the year, coming in May, because say we are coming in May. We don't want to come in May. We want to come in September 2023 instead of May 2024. But when we come in September 2023, we want to look at certain, areas, not everything, but some specific areas. And some of it could be, yes, the procedures. They just want to make sure they look at the procedures. Yes, in the first 9 months, what has been going on? You get me? We want to see what changes have happened. How have you implemented last year? Yeah, those recommendations that we made when we audited you. We want to see what you have done in the first 9 months. Yes, so that could be a reason for the interim audit. Yes, so when you do that interim audit, you now do a report of your findings, and then when you come in May, you do the final audit. Yeah, so you break it down, yeah, and you make it look manageable. And that by doing so, you are actually looking to reduce the risk exposure. Because auditing, I'm telling you, just think about it. Yes, you've not been there, yeah, from day one. What is happening? Yeah, every day transaction is being posted. Yes, it's been analyzed, it's been reconciled, all sorts of things. Adjustments are going in and out. Yes, and you're coming down 5 months after the end of the financial year. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of transaction. It's a lot of activity. Yeah, no wonder sometimes, I even say maybe that's the reason why, auditors, what you call it now, after the audit, has been done, and then couple of months after, you hear that business is gone under, it's gone bust, you gone, uh, because the auditor is not going to be able to pick up all of these things. Let's be honest, guys. Yeah. It's not going to be able to. Yeah, particularly when you got people who are really, guys internally who are hell bent, to mislead. Yeah. And the auditor, remember, it's not got the responsibility for the detection and prevention of fraud. Remember this. Yeah, it's not our responsibility, even though it's perceived. If you ask anybody out there, the layman out there and say, who is responsible for preventing, and detecting fraud? He will say, oh, the auditor. But no, that's not our responsibility. Yeah, remember, by law. Yeah. So it's perceived that it's the auditor. Yeah. But you can begin to see some of the challenges that auditors face. So one way that we can try to reduce it or minimize it is through the interim audit. Yeah. And then you go to final audit. Now, internal auditors. Yes. Again, it could be that because the organization, first of all, remember, for you to have an internal audit, then you need to have that in your policy. Yeah. Or maybe it's just a requirement. Yes. That drives that internal audit team. Yes. Because that internal audit team or the auditors, they need to have the right mandate. Yes. Okay. They need to be, because otherwise, you got people who are calling themselves, internal auditor. Yeah, they don't have this mandate to do this work. Nobody's going to respect them. Yes. Yes, the internal auditor does not have the teeth to bite. Yes, because there's no proper mandate. So you find that even in the financial procedure manual or stuff like that, you have that, but it's part of the governance structure. Yes, and it's good governance, to be honest. When the organization is complex, when the organization is of a size, then how do you now make sure that the organization is not exposed, to like we're talking about people, yeah, and people are wonderful. But when people want to really not to be wonderful, they can also be not to be wonderful. You know what I mean? Yes, because people, what drives people, the motivation. Sometimes when you hear so many things that are happening out there, yes, you wonder. But it's people, yeah. When people come together, yeah, to make something happen good, I'm telling you, it's going to be good. But at the same time, when people come together to make things not to happen good, yeah, that it's going to happen. Yeah, and when people come together to do that, most of the time, that's what it is. Yeah, I don't think most of these things that with fraud, yeah, is one person. Yeah, it's more than one people coming, one person coming together. With that, bad intent, to defraud. They get away with it. You understand? But the auditor, yeah, is coming in at a very late period of time. So, because that is the situation, we say, well, okay, let's get internal auditors. Yeah, let's get them. They call them the watchdogs. Or watch whatever it is you want to call it. Yeah, and then when they come in with the right, power given to them, delegated authority to them, because they have to get the power. Because otherwise, they don't, they don't have any respect. Yeah, they are now coming and checking controls, and those controls. What do we mean by controls? And what are they coming to do? They get the financial procedure manual, yeah, in their hands. I can envisage their internal auditors. When they're coming down, they have the financial procedure manual in their hands. and say, this is how things should be done here. Now they're checking to make sure, yes, what is prescribed in the financial procedure manual is what actually you're doing. Yes. And that's what internal auditors are doing. Yes. And they're doing this, maybe quarterly, or the frequency that has been agreed. Yeah. Well, now you want to say, well, okay, as the external auditor, yes, if they have internal auditors in place, yes, does that mean that, the environment is safer? Does that mean that we should rely on the work that the internal auditors have done or not? Yes. These are all questions for the external auditor. Yes. Does that mean that our work is going to be easy? Yeah. Does that mean that, the people who are there, they are okay, and whatever it is? Yes. Does that mean that the work of these internal auditors, is good, we can trust it or rely on it? So it's the external auditor to decide. And this is where it becomes really, really critical. Yes, the internal auditors have got a role to do. But now the external auditor is saying reliance, yes, on the internal audit function, yes, for the external auditor. For us to begin to consider, yes, I'm using my words carefully here, for us to begin to consider relying on the work that the internal auditors have done, yeah, we want to make sure, first of all, they are mandated. They've got the right mandate to do this work. But also, we always say is, are they experienced enough? Are they qualified enough? I remember those days, I'm telling you, you go to internal auditors that are not qualified. Yes, but they're very good, at the work they do. Yeah, but they're not qualified. Suitably qualified. Oh my goodness. That causes an imbalance. Because now I'm saying somebody who is so good at what they do, experience, but they're not suitably qualified. Should we rely on that job that they've done? Well, for external auditor, we've got some criteria. For you to rely on the work of either an expert or an internal audit, you've got to be suitably qualified, experienced. You understand? And then, for example, you've got to have the mandate you're given to, yes. And then once that is in place, then you can begin to now say, well, okay, I think probably I should, rely on the work of the internal auditor. But it's a real, function, a control, a management control function, for the internal. But again, internal is internal. It's all internal, yes? Okay. Statutory, yes, by law. Yeah, internal, not by law. Yes, it's internal. Yeah, so you got to be able to distinguish between internal and an external audit. Yeah, so for us here, sometimes we could be internal auditors, yeah, for different organizations, but we cannot be internal as well as external. Yeah, so it's got to be, different. But that's a very good question, but also, guys, for the exams, I can see in the exams there, reliance, on the internal audit function. A massive question all the time. Yeah, it's a massive debate. Yeah. So those who are taking exams, yes, it's a good question from Kevin. Yes. Interim audit, always there. Yeah, and then internal auditors. But the reliance, yes, that the auditor, the statutory auditor plays on the internal audit function is a very good one. Yeah, thank you. One more question before we go, if anyone, or any observation before we finish?
Yes, Mola.
Hello, hi, Miriam.
Yeah, so this is an observation that I've made.
Yes.
The accounting manual, the accounting procedures, okay, and the culture of the organization, they go hand in hand. If you have a very strong finance function where every move, okay, so I like almost every movement in the organization would require some money. Okay, now if the finance function is well in place, and seamless for that matter. It means that movement or trying to get something done is quite easy, right? And you know what to do to get the money on time. And then when you come back, you're either accounting for the money by using what do you call it? An expense claim.
Mhm.
And you know that this is what happens here. So everybody would stick to it. And we are all aware that this is the system here. It puts the organization in a different frame altogether. Okay. So if the account is done properly, you go to an office, you see that everything is in place, things are easy, they're able to move, they're able to do their. You go to another place to you realize that things are very difficult. It's disorganized, they are disorganized. When they want money, they take almost a whole day before they're going to get the money. And when they bring the money back, what they use it for, they cannot account for it properly. Okay. So you see that the people in the company's behavior is affected by the way the finance function is done. And for me, I see that the organizational culture and the finance function will go hand in hand. I have seen this in many of the places I've worked, and also in the churches that I have attended. Okay, I've been to church, one church where they organize their things very well. It was a Catholic church. When you go there, I've had a chance to handle the finance of the church before. When you go there, the way they count the money, they put it together, they give it out to the bank. Okay, one or two people are signatories to the account. I've been to other churches where they count the money and they're just giving it out to different people. Okay, so on Sunday when they get probably they get 5,000, they give this one 2,000, 3,000, and all that. So now when they want to buy something or they need money and they don't know where the money is, and somebody's, I'll bring this money, that kind of thing. And it's clear, I mean, how organized these two churches are. Okay, so in my eyes, I see how the finance function, the finance procedure manual is able to affect the whole organization and the culture, the way we do things in the organization. Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Miriam. Very, very pertinent point there. You mentioned culture there, and we should not take these things lightly. Yes, and that's why I'm saying, you know, um, we are coming from a position of knowing. Yes, and this I'm appealing to each and every one of us here. Yeah, we have to come from that position of knowing. Yeah, not from that place of being ignorant. And that ignorance meaning that we just simply choose not to know. Yeah, okay. Because through knowing, yes, you are able to, yes, do, much more research and study, and then best practice comes out from it, understanding comes out from it, and then you get a good feel factor, I belong, I'm a professional, and but also, you are transforming and touching the lives of people around you. Finance function is the lifeblood of the business. Yes. But think about it. When you try to, in the organization chart, the finance function, it comes somewhat down. Yes. It's not up there. Up there, you get the board of directors or the shareholders there. Then you got, like, for example, the operational CEO. And then underneath that CEO, you get, different departments. Maybe one of those departments could be the finance function. Okay. And we need to understand that where we are placed. Yeah. Okay. So whatever we're talking about, procedures or protocols or policies, where should that be coming from with this organization chart that you just painted? Yeah, it should be coming up from there, from the board. Yes, the board. The board, yes, got responsibility, yeah, for deciding on all those policies, and then what they do is they delegate it, that responsibility, to people, yes, who have got the competence, who got the experience, yes, and then support them. So that delegated responsibility, for example, the financial procedure manual rests with the finance function. Yes, there is a finance director or head of finance or whatever it is. Yeah, okay. But even that financial procedure manual, it needs to be approved at the board level because it commits the organization as a whole. Yes, so if the culture is that, you know what, we do things anyhow from up there, then down there in the finance function is going to be like that. Yes. So, and I'm asking, if you see that, or you get involved in a situation like that, I'm not saying just run away from it. I think it's more to do with, maybe try to see how you can, bring some awareness. Because again, as you're talking here is writing down good practice against bad practice, then there's a gap. Yes. And that gap is caused by the paradigm. Yes. And that paradigm, and it's not easy to shift the paradigm. Yeah, it's going to fight you, every time you try to move, from your bad habit into some good habit. Yeah, the bad habit is going to say, no, sorry, you know what? I've been here with you for so long. I have, supported you, for so long. Now you want to change me with something new, so I am going to give you a fight. Yeah. So you got to really, really fight hard, yeah, to shift that paradigm. And I'm asking, that's what we should be doing if we really believe in this. But first of all, it has to come from us knowing, yes, we have to believe that what they're doing here is not okay. And we want to go and change it. And that's the reason why we're having this conversation here. Yeah, because seriously, what I believe, the finance function, you can see, yes. I don't believe that you should be calling somebody a bookkeeper. I don't believe that. Yeah. I don't believe, that somebody who is working, or doing, work in the finance function, yeah, should be, oh, well, it's a low level or it's whatever it is. No, I don't believe that. You understand? So that culture shift that I hold here, yeah, does not happen everywhere. But we need to educate people. We need to create the awareness. Yes, definitely it's a culture issue. But really, really, it should not be like that. Yes, it's the paradigm, it's the bad habit that's been formed for a long, long time. And you find this with very small and medium-sized organizations, and you know that there's lots of them out there. Today I was talking to some of my colleagues here. One of the reasons why, we're having challenges ourselves. Yeah, because when I go to talk to a client or potential client, yes, I'm talking like this. You say, well, hold on. The Moracle Accountancy Formula, this is what it stands for. This is what we do. This is how we're going to serve you. Yeah, and that's clients looking at it and say, okay, yes, this is really nice because, it's different from what our accountant used to give to us. So we come to you. But then when they appoint us, then what happens? Yes, I'm not going to do the job. I've got a team of people that have been trained to do this job. And if they don't do it the way I said it or how we believe in it, what do you think is going to happen? Yeah, there's a disconnect. There's a gap there. Yeah, every day or every week, I'm talking about the Moracle Accountancy Formula here. Yes, and then when it comes to doing, we are doing it differently. Yeah, so, but we're not going to stop, guys. Yeah, and for me, for one, I'm not going to stop because I know it's the paradigm. I don't think it's down to you, or, people who are not doing it. I think it's a paradigm. But also, a lot of people who are doing this, they don't know, they've not got the good training, yeah, and good exposure. So training like this, I'm telling you, I think it's going to help because this, we didn't used to get that in the past. When one was going through the training program, no, it's like everything is now close to your, people's chest, you know. But now we're sharing things like this, good practice. So hopefully, yes, it will begin to shift, you know, this paradigm. It begin to shift culture. You know, the more we articulate this, the more we act. That's why I'm asking you guys. When you come down here, you hear what I'm talking about here. Yeah, please don't just hold it and then don't apply it. Go and apply it. Yes, apply it. Believe in it. Yeah, apply it. Yes. My mentor used to say, Mola, your way is not working. Why don't you do it my way? He says, your way, Mola, is not working. Why don't you do it in my way? And until you can prove that my way is not working, Mola, follow my way. Oh my goodness. Yes. Your way, Mola, is not working. Why don't you, yes, follow my way? And until you can prove that my way is not working, follow my way. Okay. Simple instruction. Yeah. And I'm telling you, we can change the world. We can bring peace to the world this way. Yeah. To change the way, you know, people think about it. Miriam, what you just described there is not acceptable. Yeah. It's not how it should be. Yeah. But what is causing that? Yes. I don't think it's the people that they want to do it that way. It could be a combination of things. Yes. Not knowing. Yes. But also, you understand, it could be that, you know, we ourselves, yeah, we the accountant ourselves, we are not able, you know, to make that shift. Yeah, we have left, you know, a bad example because some of these businesses have been there for ages. Yeah, but the accounts guys that we see there, you know, they're doing this whatever you call it, you know, questionable job. Yes, and oh well, this is how my accountant used to tell me. Even right now, we got clients, when we go down there and we challenging them and say, can we do it this way? They say, no, sorry, why are you telling us to do this? The old accountant never told us that. Okay. Well, you can see where the culture, yeah? Because that person, yes, the CEO or the director, yeah, is used to that, to do things the not so good way, because accountant or somebody else have told him, this is how you do it. And then you come now and start telling them, well, this is how you should do it. What you think they're going to say? They're going to say more like, no, Shukes was not doing it this way. Shukes never told me that. Yes, why are you telling me that now, you know? So sometimes, again, we want to watch these things, you know. That's why it's not easy to change culture, because there's so many things that come into play here. But we should not stop, I'm saying, yeah, guys. Yeah, we are big influencers, particularly when we're carrying, you know, the ACCA badge. Yes, I'm asking you guys, even for you guys who are ACCA qualified, get your badge on. Yes, put your badge on. You know, if you're a member, always wear your badge, because, you know, when you are in the position where you need to stand up, you know, and then talk about your professionalism or what you believe, yeah, you just have to touch it a little bit and say like this, you know, when you touch it like this, you know, you get some really vibration that comes up. Oh my goodness, yes, you know, I know what I'm talking about. I can sign my name to this formula. I want to put best practice in place. Yes, and that's what he's telling me. When I touch it like this, I want to put best practice. But if it's not there, sometimes, you know, the human factor come in. Yes, I don't want to behave and think like a normal person. Yes, so a normal person, yes, the way he thinks, and the accountant, like me, qualified accountant, experience, we think differently. So for me not to think like a normal person, I have to find something I touch, you know, to say, well, I'm not normal when it comes to this circumstance. Yes, when it talks about accounts, when it comes to audit, I am not a normal person. Yeah, and that is not expected of me. So I'm appealing to all of us, you know, maybe again, psychologically, you know, it helps. Yes. Okay. And for those of you who are studying, you know, want to become accountants, you know, like us who are qualified, you know, maybe that's an inspiration, you know, hurry up and get your qualification. Yes. And get that, the membership, you know, belong, you know, and then get the badge, you know, and start touching that badge. Yes. I'm telling you, it It will make you not feel like a normal person. And that's probably, this is how we're going to change what is going on. And I'm saying this is all over the world, yeah? That's why it's good that we're all coming from different parts of the world now, yeah? Not only the UK, yeah? So we can now influence, you know, wherever we are. But, you know, good practice, you know, I'm really appealing to each and every one for us, yeah? Let's go for good practice, guys. Let's make that decision. Good practice. It's a continuous improvement, yeah? Like the financial procedure manual. Make sure there's one there. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, don't just, you know, if the finance function, you know, don't say, you know, I don't know if we got one in there or not. Yeah, that is not the right way to do it, you know. Be curious. You want to know what is in that financial procedure manual. What does it say about sales ledger? What does it say about purchase ledger? What does it say about payroll? What does it say about signing checks? Yeah, like Miriam is saying, you know, people don't know, they ask for money and they don't give you the receipt or voucher. You know, money is just going out like this. What does he say about that? Yeah. So now maybe you should be holding that financial procedure manual and say, look, this is what the financial procedure manual says. But if there is no financial procedure manual, think about it. Yes. Well, you're going to fight a losing battle. Yes. Because this, yeah, first of all, it gives you some kind of authority, you know, for you as a source. Look, here we've got financial procedure manual says, before we make any payment, yes, then there should be a proper voucher authorized, signed by those who are authorized. Yes. And when we're there, we should not be making those payments. And if those payments are made, yes, like I always say to my guys, and you are posting it and you don't have the paperwork, please don't post it. Because if you post it, then you are legitimizing that transaction. You are helping them. Yeah, so say to me, no, sorry, the financial procedure manual says before I post a transaction, I have to have proper documentation or supporting documents to support this transaction before I post it. But if I don't know it, I should not post it. I should question it. Okay. It's going to be a tough one. Yeah, but this is how we should be coming from. Yeah. I hope that clarifies it. You know, it's not easy, but guys, I'm saying to you, let's not give up. Yeah. Yeah. Slowly and slowly, you know, we will change the world, you know, the way people, yeah. Maybe these people who are actually involved in what you just described, Miriam, they should not be doing that. Yes, they need training. So maybe, yeah, you have to invite them, bring them here to our training. Yes, let them come and hear. Yes, and we're happy to train people. Yes. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for another fantastic session, you know. And I look forward to seeing you guys next Thursday. Yeah, but please go and then put this into practice, guys. Yeah, don't just hold it. Yeah. If you got a question, you know, during the course of the week, I know I'm busy, but come, you know, come out, reach out. Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah. Happy to share with you guys. Yeah. Thank you very much. And God bless you all. Yeah. Until next Thursday. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Yes.
Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Malai.